Hi, it's Jenny here, and I want to talk to you today about the fast track to your own iTunes Biz App. Also, I want to talk to you about how you can position yourself in this natural growth phase, in other words, in the momentum that's in the marketplace to set up your own business, selling to other people the opportunity to put their business on iTunes and the other app networks as well. So what I want to first go over with you though is understanding the difference between an app that'll make it and an app that won't. Now, when you submit to services like iTunes and Android, they go through a scanning process, if you like, or an assessment process to make sure your app is suitable for them to add to their network. That's just something that you go through in the process of getting your app onto their network, but that's not really the key to whether or not your app will work for you in terms of creating cash flow. And that's what this series that I'm doing at the moment is really all about. The future frontiers of cash flow is not only looking at the opportunity and the massive growth and how you can position yourself to take full advantage of that, but more importantly, that you can actually connect it to cash flow opportunities, and that these opportunities are sustainable long term. In other words, they're opportunities that are of this time and are of this era and are of the future. And that's why we're calling it the future frontiers of cash flow. So let's talk about the actual elements or the core elements that make up a successful app for you as a small business owner, an app that through the selection process you can get onto the networks, but more importantly, once they're on the networks, it's about having an app that people want to connect with, that people actually want to use, that people actually desire to have. So I'm going to give you now 5 criteria that I've developed through my own process of experimenting with apps that work versus apps that don't in terms of creating a business out of them. And then I want to share with you these 5 areas so that you can keep these in mind creating your own small business app. Now, in this web show series that I've mentioned, I'm actually dedicating a whole 90-minute session to drilling down into these points about how to fast track your own iTunes Biz App, and then also how to create a business out of providing the same app structure for other small business owners as well. So let's now talk about the 5 criteria. The first criteria is to understand that an app is for small business acts as a conduit. It acts as a pass-through, a gateway, if you like, into your business that you currently have. And so this solution that we're talking about is ideal for a small business that already exists and has one or more products in the product mix, ideally more than one product, of course, being a business, and that you're going to use the app as a conduit, another way for people to get to your website. So instead of just relying on browsers, the app can act as a conduit and a summary menu, if you like, of your website content, which should include your products and services. And so that's the first element, that you don't want to build an app that is not mindful of the need and the desire for people to want to find out more about you than what's only contained within the app itself. So that's the first of the 5 key cash flow criteria for a successful app for small business, that it acts as a conduit and that you're thinking about providing links to more information on the web. And in fact, when I say on your website, it could be more than the actual website. It's any place that you have a profile and presence for business purposes on the web. For example, through my app, I have a connection to Facebook, so people can actually connect with me there where I have a conversation. And so they're able to, through the app, connect with me on Facebook as well as my website, as well as they can get to my YouTube channel. So I think you get the idea that you want to be mindful in constructing your app, that the conduit concept is front of mind. That's criteria number 1. The second one is that the app acts as a communication tool. Now, this is one of the most exciting breakthroughs in business building that I've seen really since the creation of e-commerce on the internet itself. And it's something called push notification. And in the web show that I want to invite you to attend, I'm going to go into that a bit more. But this is the single most powerful way of communicating that's going to supersede all of the other things that you're doing right now, because it's absolutely direct, me to you, the person that has my app, and or from you to the people that have your app, and it's direct and it's immediately into their mobile device. So the second thing that you want to be mindful of, if you want a small biz app that's going to provide cash flow for you, that we're solving that problem in business and growing your business, that you have this communications element enabled as well. The third criteria is connection. Now this is where immediately upon opening your app for the first time, you invite people to connect with you on an ongoing basis. In other words, you want to get them into your communication email, perhaps channel or system, blah, blah. Okay, so what you want to do is have the ability for people to connect with you outside of the app and outside of the immediate time. So I'm on my iPhone and I'm looking at your app, and we want the relationship to go beyond that. So what you want to do is have the app connecting up to your opt-in sequence that you might have. So you might have an opt-in form on your website that goes into a series of autoresponders. Well, you want to do the same in your app. So that's the third key criteria to cash flow for small business from apps. A lot of small businesses aren't doing these first three things that I've talked about, and they're wondering why the $1,000, $2,000 that they've spent isn't actually getting them any results in their business. It's pretty, when you know the criteria, it's pretty obvious, but if you don't know the criteria, you don't know what to put together. So that's why I wanted to share it with you now. The fourth one is that it must be m-commerce capable. So m-commerce is the mobile version of e-commerce. So you must have your store element of your website set up so that it works well on mobiles. And in fact, you want to have a dedicated page on your website called your store, or you may want to call it something else. You may want to call it your shop. And what you want to have on that page is a summary of at least your key products. So if you've got a big product range, like one of my businesses has over 20,000 products, right? I'm not going to put all of them on a single store page, but I'll put some key products that I want to promote through my mobile app onto the store page. And so that store page then has a link directly out from the app into that page, and that page is set up specifically for people on mobile devices. And so this is a whole criteria in itself, and I'm actually dedicating a whole web show in the series of the Future Frontiers of Cashflow, just focusing on that alone. However, I wanted to mention it. It's one of the 5 key criteria, and it does also relate to the web show that I'm about to invite you to about the fast track to your own iTunes Biz App. And then finally, the 5th criteria is creativity. See, once people have your app, what's happening to a lot of small businesses is the people are downloading their app and then they're never using it again because they forget about it, because there's no creativity. There's nothing that's bringing them in with a point of interest to want to engage in their app again. So this 5th criteria is really key. And in fact, I'm dedicating a whole show just to that as well in the series about how to make your app absolutely unique. So the show that I'm talking about right now, Web Show 3, is how to fast track your own iTunes Biz App. But more importantly, once you've got your own app, I want to show you how to set up your own resellers business using a system that we've developed with our business partners in the States, where you literally can make other people, other business owners, apps without a single piece of code, without having to use a programmer, and also on their behalf put it into the iTunes and Android network for them. So it's an excellent business opportunity. And right now, and at least for the next 1 to 2 years, in other words, the next 12 to 24 months, this is a business that will be built really easily because there's natural market momentum. A lot of people in business talk about their business, the good like their business is seasonal. One of the businesses I have is seasonal, but it's only one of the businesses I have. So between September and Christmas, it's absolutely flat out in that business. But come January, it's dead, and in winter it's dead. And so it's like this. Well, that's what most businesses are like, and most people are accepting that. But I say that's not what you want, right? I keep that business because in the good season it's a good business, but I have other interests like this. What you want is a business that's seasonal because the market is just uptaking. In other words, everyone's wanting, and more people are wanting biz apps. And I want to show you how to position yourself. You don't have to do a lot of hard work to get people into your business. They're going to be coming to you. And that's why I'm running this web show right now. So fill out the registration details below and meet me on the show. We're going to take your questions live and answer them as well. And we're going to show you how to fast track your own iTunes Biz app and how to set up your own business. And of course, selling the apps. And of course, what I'm going to be doing is everything's going to relate and ensure that your business and your Biz app has these 5 key criteria to meet the objective of not only building an app that might impress your friends and family, but creating a cash flow stream from having an app. So I look forward to seeing you on the show. Fill out the details wherever the link is on this page, and I'll see you on the show. Bye for now.